Hello and welcome back to the channel. I don't know. That's hilarious. If you're joining new today, drop me a little subscribe, and we're going to talk about signs from the universe today. Now I'm holding my phone up with my hand, so apologies if it's wobbly, just to preempt that now. I tried to find a little nice balancing spot, but it didn't work. So yeah, thanks for bearing with. So you, my dear, are the only person who has the power to decide what is a spirit sign and what isn't, and also what this spirit sign means. She says, that means she's getting straight into it. That means the fire and the sass and the passion is coming out. So when we see certain numbers at certain times, it is us as the creator of our reality who assigns, oh, this means this, because it's our reality, and what is true for somebody else might not be true for you. Now, to say this, for example, if I walk past a dog that is a breed, the same breed as what my past dog has been, to me that's a sign that my old dog is checking in with me and he's sending his love and he's loving on me and is letting me know that he's near, and I like that, and that's a sign for me. But everyone assigns their own descriptions, and you might see people post on Instagram like, oh, 111 means this, 222 means this, but ultimately it's you that decides if you resonate with their description, if that works for you, because you can have things mean whatever they want to mean based off how that supports you in your reality. Just because somebody has assigned a certain meaning to a yellow elephant doesn't mean that you have to assign that same meaning. You get to choose what meaning you assign to certain things. And how this works is because the universe speaks your language. So when you give it a language, it will speak it to speak to you. So all you need to do is choose a language based off what feels good within yourself. If you're not sure, for me, my best place to start with has always been just copy somebody else, and then you'll either learn through non-resonance of when it happens, or through further clarification through this process of what this means to you, through experiences, or through having a more clear perspective through experience. I always advise to obviously do what works for you. If you want to make your own spirit sign straight off the bat, then do so, but you're more than welcome to copy others and not feel bad for that, and allow yours to form through that. So you're absorbing and then you're recreating, but the key point is there is to recreate, or allow it to have your meaning that then feels authentic from you, because then it's coming from your creation center, your creator, and it's not just you're mimicking somebody else, because it's your life, so you wanted to speak your language. So I haven't posted in a while, so welcome back. I'm going to walk on a bit now. Welcome back. I felt inspired to post again because I don't know, I actually watched one of my favorite YouTubers, and she posted a video again after being off for like several months, and she was like, she was waiting for this perfect time to post again, and I get that, because for me, like, I post regularly and then I go into like my little womb cave of like, whether that's like the week before my period, then I get my period, and then I just like fall out of it, or maybe I just don't have anything to share, or I'm deep in process, or I'm at a festival or something, and then I'm like, okay, let me just post again. And like, I want to talk back about spirit signs again, but they're so vibrant and they're so juicy, and it's like these extra confirmations that you get to have in your daily life by choosing that you have these. So I've really been exposed to life reminding me of how it's the small daily things that create the big things, in the sense of it's the small daily meditation that then contributes to the greater integration of the better version of yourself, or the higher frequency, or the creation, the manifestation of these things. The same as it's the daily being kind to yourself and admiring yourself and loving on yourself that then creates the self-love over time. I don't know if you're like me, but in the past I used to be so like go hard or go home, go big or do nothing. So I used to think, oh, if I could just like smash out like loads of self-love in like 1 week, then, you know, I become this self-loving being. Or if I do loads of plant medicine, then like I become this enlightened being. And like, yeah, those things do help short term, but I've really been grounding into this knowing, which is now becoming this embodied wisdom of it's the small daily contributions towards these different things that create this thing. Not just the big doses, throwing a big lump of shit at the wall and being like, okay, I have it now. It's the small daily discipline, the persistence, the consistency. And you know, whenever you forget or you stop, when you're ready and when you remember, pick it back up again and go again. And that's the beauty of it. That can be applied to the gym, spiritual practices, anything that you're creating and manifesting. That one got tired. Hey, but that was good lighting though. I like that. Cute. And life's just so beautiful. Life is this beautiful vessel of creation. And I used to wish things would like create so much quicker. I used to wish that like the things I was wanting would come in instantly. And for the most part, I'm glad that many of them haven't. But then also that many of them have. Many of them have. Many of them have. And also many of them haven't. So the wind reminded me of a spirit message the other day. So I was sunbathing in my garden, soaking up the sun rays, speaking with the sun, absorbing the light codes. And I was doing some like light meditation, just like doing some inner work, reprogramming some things on an energetic level, and like feeling into things. Like feeling is your biggest healer. Gosh, feeling is your biggest healer, whether that's to eliminate or to create, like to heal as well. Feeling is literally like the thing, is the thing. Yeah, and I was doing some healing, some energetic reprogramming, and then the wind came and it felt like the wind was cleansing me, cleansing my body of this work that I was doing. And then I spoke to the wind in my mind, just making a little joke, and then a bigger gush of wind came and it's confirmation. But the reason I share this story is because I apply the meaning of what this wind meant to me in that moment. I could have said, oh, that wind doesn't mean anything, or I could have thought about how others might perceive this or judged it of like, it's literally a gust of wind. But it's me that applies the meaning to that, and me adding that meaning to that in that moment without any judgment was such a beautiful like moment of pure bliss, of pure connectedness, of feeling so supported by the gush of a wind. And I enjoy feeling supported and I enjoy feeling connected. So if I can tune into that and tap into that by a gush of wind, then regardless of on the wider perspective, if that's seen as a spirit message or not, if it carried the message that I interpreted it to or not in my mind, I still receive the benefits of that. I still feel juicy and delicious and empowered and supported by the gush of a wind. So why the hell would we not? The maths right now is maths then. If I can, in some people's perspective, be deluded in my spirit messages, but it supports me and it adds value and it contributes towards what I'm creating of my life, then why would I not? Only people who don't love themselves would not do that, you know? And I just banged my toe as like I was saying that then, and I felt like that was a little message, because it's not about hating on others, it's about you know, people say things because if they're hating on you for what you do, because of their own insecurities, their own judgments, their own anxieties and fears. So what's really helped me is to actually surround myself with more people like this. So whatever things I enjoy, finding more people who enjoy these things too, so that it builds my confidence that when I am alone or when I'm around people who don't believe, first of all, I'm better at not like sharing things with them, which some people may call protecting your energy. But I feel it's like having discernment to protect yourself in a perfectly viable scenario to protect yourself in. Because, you know, after you've told a few people things that don't understand them, then I personally, and if you resonate with my content, I'm sure you feel the same way or are beginning to, may notice the signs of when this person may meet you with skepticism or judgment or closed-mindedness. And that's great, because this is us actively learning discernment, embodied discernment, so that then in the future you can identify those same energies or how you felt or what the signs were, so that you can be a bit more protective over your energy, because you care for you, I care for me. So we care for ourselves. So we don't just want to let anybody's interpretation or judgment or own fears affect and influence our relationship with ourselves. Especially when, you know, we work so hard to have these beautiful divine relationships with ourselves. We don't want to give that part of us that we may be nurturing or maybe young in terms of its growth of development, of feeling secure and empowered and safe in that aspect of ourselves. We don't just want to be giving this to any person, any Tom, Dick or Harry to smear with their judgment or their opinions if we're not already fully centered, fully grounded and empowered in our truth of it. And this is what you can call emotional safety. So this is about creating emotional safety within yourself, so that you're not handing over your inner child to somebody else. I feel like the moment of silence is needed. After all of those wisdom bombs, Kiss, recognise I touched on loads of different topics there, and yet I recognise their interwovenness of this creation. Which brings me back to the message of how we do anything is how we do everything. Because I learned loads of these different things separately, and yet they all entwine, and all the things I'm learning about right now that I'm like working on in personal development are all entwined, even though they may seem separate, because nothing's separate. Everything links. So what are your signs? What are you now going to allow to be a sign when you take away everybody else's perspective, everybody else's opinion? What do you want to be a sign? What encourages you? What supports you? What empowers you? What just feels nice? We're allowed to do things because they feel nice, because they feel good. That's the whole point, right? We come here to feel. So we want to support ourselves. And life is just this beautiful playground where we are the creator, like we're like the mini gods in this, of our own reality, where we get to decide. And for some people that might feel far-fetched, that concept of being the creator of your reality. But these are the small ways in which we get to create our version of heaven on earth through our preferences that don't need to make sense to anybody else. That other people don't need to choose either, because by you choosing your truth, you are then aligning with others who choose that truth or can appreciate that truth too. So when you shift your inner world, your outer world then shifts to reflect that. So the same with creating a sign, you choose that from the inside first. The same with choosing the truth of this is me and this is what I like and that's that. Then the outer world shifts to mirror that and to reflect that. And then one last thing to add on the end there, because I feel like it's relevant, is like the universe will always show you what you believe and what you're looking for. The same as like if you're thinking about buying a red car, suddenly you're gonna see red cars everywhere. The same, so this equates to like if you decide somebody's lazy or somebody's a bad person or somebody's judgmental, then you're gonna see evidence that this person is lazy or judgmental because you're putting that beacon out there. So you gotta be a bit delulu to create what you want, because it just works like that, and it just works. I've done it before where I don't want somebody to beef me today, you know, I just don't want the beef from somebody, I don't want the heat, you know, I'm hot enough already, I don't need the heat. So I choose that that's not going to happen. I'm like, that's not happening today. And if it did happen, I have the tools to stick up for myself. And then it doesn't happen. I'm like, okay, good. The universe knows, good, because we're not standing for this anymore. Also, on a side note, I came here the other day and there was these animals in the grass in the far distance. You can see them there. So now they're a lot closer, and I saw them from afar and I'm like, what on earth are these? I thought they were hares. I thought they were wild UK hares, and they're actually geese. They're geese. Oh, I was so excited to bring a message today. So excited when I was like, I'm doing one. I'm finally doing one. I was like itching to like figure out what I was gonna say. And then I was like holding my phone, walking around. And I was like, Hope, let me just chill. Let me just like enjoy this walk, because I know the walk comes before the message, because the walk is the grounding, it's the airspace. And then the dog that looked like my old dog came through, walked past me and like came up to my leg and sniffed it, and it looked exactly like my old dog, and that reminded me of a conversation I had at a recent festival, of somebody asking about spirit signs, and then also a message I got asking about spirit signs, which I'm going to make a digital product on, teaching the whole in depth of sign making and discernment. But this was just a cute little message and preview about it all. Not even preview, but well, yeah, I guess it's a preview as well, that you get a taste of my medicine and the complexity and the detailedness of what I share. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me. It's the Oracle of Hope. And again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. Subscribe before I set the geese to come and get you. Jokes. Not actually joking. Jokes. Not actually joking. Okay, cool. Thanks for tuning in. Sending you lots of love. Catch that. Catch that. That love's for me. Ooh, that love's for me. And yeah, let me know whereabouts in the world you're tuning in from. I'd love to hear from you. I always love it when I get compliments. Compliments, wow. I meant to say comments, but I love compliments too. I do love when I get compliments. And I love when I get comments and just some general engagement. So yeah, thank you and see you again soon.